It was such a short time ago, but it feels like years have passed by since I was in the school musical Into the Woods by Stephen Sondheim. A sense of nostalgia floods over me as I think back to those long weeks of rehearsal and those short 3 days of the performance. From January to March, the cast, including myself, would work together, and in the end, we grew close to one another. I made many new friends and had such difficulty saying goodbye to them. Never again would we all be together in the exact same way or with the same energy ever again. Enjoyable moments such as this don't come by too often, and it wouldn't be long before this experience transferred into the past. I savored every moment, storing it in a separate portion of my brain, for I did not want to forget the happiness that was being spread among peers. It all started with a single audition, my audition. Little did I know that the song I carelessly chose for my audition would lead me to one of the greatest experiences of my high school years. At first, I waited to be called in, and when I actually did get called in, my nerves struck instantly. As I walked down, my legs shivered like a wet dog who had just escaped after falling into a pool. I did not want to mess this up, and as always, the worst possible scenarios began popping into my head. These thoughts forced my nervousness into paranoia. Now it was time to sing, and I didn't know what to expect from myself. When it came down to it, all I was thinking was, just open your mouth and sing. Sing it the way you practiced. So there I stood, in the middle of the room, with a silly, nervous expression on my face. I looked at the directors, and they looked back at me. As I held their stare for a few short seconds, it was in this small amount of time that I felt a great force begin weighing down on not just me, but my easygoing attitude as well, forcing it to bury itself. As that little stress reliever hit from me, I opened my mouth, hoping it would come back to save me, but it didn't. I was forced to sing without it. Not too long after my audition, and without even a callback, I was given the role of Jack's mother. To my surprise, she was a pretty big role, and I was shocked to think that I actually sang well during my audition. Was this really happening to me? As rehearsals commenced, I began having trouble portraying my character. I couldn't understand my character. I couldn't find her voice, physicality, and I wasn't taking enough risks. A sense of tentativeness took over my soul every day of the rehearsals. I no longer knew what I was doing. I felt like I was letting everyone down, holding them back from making the show as great as it could be. I didn't know what to do. Show day was nearing, and I was getting antsy. Even the director, my theater teacher, began to notice. He asked me, "Where is all this tentativeness coming from?" I told him how I was feeling, hoping he would have a solution, and he did. His advice allowed me to find my voice and physicality, lifting the immense weight off of my shoulders, and brought me back to myself again. I began having so much more fun and built up loads of enthusiasm as the rest of the weeks went by. I was no longer holding everyone back, and we were well on our way for show day. On all 3 show days, I went out on stage and gave it everything I had, and the crowd loved it. As I think back while writing this paper, I no longer worry about forgetting. I know I will never forget the time I grew as an actress and had fun with many friends, old and new.